Ambassadors and welcome guests. This is a bit of an impromptu, 6-minute impromptu, because I really didn't come prepared for this tonight, but that's what you get for not reading email. However, let me tell you, I'll tell you where I started. I started in St. Catharines, that's where I was born, and I was the son of 2 Scottish immigrants. My father was a son of a coal miner. My mother, her father came out of the Tweed warehouses in Scotland, and they met here and got married, and they had me. And that's where I came from. Our life in St. Catharines, I had a pretty good life coming up through in St. Catharines. I lived in the wartime houses, which wasn't the best end of town. But before I left St. Catharines, I was taking out the CEO's daughter of Molson Industries. So I pretty well covered the gamut of people in St. Catharines over that period of time. I skipped grade 2 for some reason. I don't know why. I used to say, hey, you go over that side of the room. Oh, okay. But anyway, that allowed me to graduate from high school at 16, age of 16. And I was one of 3 people in the class of 20 or so that got a job. And before that, I had worked at the convenience store. They used to pay me a penny an hour, like 60 cents an hour. And that was pretty good money. But this new job, they paid me $1. $1 an hour, $40. And that was a good job. The other guy got $28 a week, and that was a good job too. Anyway, I was fortunate enough to run into a man. He was the man that was president of that company, James W. Fraser, a graduate of Mount Allison and Yale University in engineering. And he said to me, Jim, you should be an engineer. You know, I was a draftsman, but Jim, you should be an engineer. I said, fine. What do I have to do to be an engineer? And this is why one of the things of my life has been perseverance. No matter what it is you want to do in life, persevere. Above all else, perseverance is omnipotent. Don't look it up, please. Basically above everything. For the next 4 years, I worked to get myself through 8 years. I worked to get myself through university. I worked a year. That first year, they didn't have any money. I went back to high school, took grade 11 and 12 all over again. But I took math and physics, chemistry and physics, and the 3 maths all at the same time, and then did my 13th. Missed 1 course, so I stayed out a year and worked another year. Didn't have any money anyway. But when I got to university, student loans came out, and that's why I'm here today. I would never have done it otherwise. Went through 4 years university, had many positions in the university. When I handed in my resume at work, I had 1.5 pages of positions I held outside of my job. I did 35 years of community work. Today I'm retired. I don't do anything I love. But I worked with Foster Wheeler in St. Catharines when I graduated. Oh, I should tell you, I met Barb. Yeah. I met Barb. It was a blind date. Yep. I did okay. So never be afraid to, take a chance. Go for it. It's been 42 years. Valentine's Day, she told me she loved me. I said, why? I don't know. Dude, yeah. The same goes for her. She's a wonderful person. We have 2 boys, Andrew and Tim. They're both doing well. Andrew's out in Halifax and has 1 granddaughter I have. Tim, I don't know what he hasn't given me any children yet, but he has a lovely partner. They have a girl. His partner is one of them. Anyway, no, it's a girl. And they don't have any kids yet, but maybe one day. The thing about Toastmasters, I started here. Barb belonged here first, and I followed her. I had done things with the curling club in Port Elgin. I curled 17 years, didn't tell you. Anyway, I was president there, and I ran bonds, fields, everything else. And I had to speak in front of 100 people. So I'd done all that before I got here, so what's the big deal? Anyway, it improved my confidence in my own self. See there, what I learned here, I learned things about myself I didn't know. I spent 40 years as an engineer, and I didn't realize that along the way I had learned the art of communication. But it was engineering communication. It's not the same as coming here and trying to influence somebody. It's a different type of communication. I took on the job. Don't ever, if somebody comes to you and says, take on a job, do it. I was vice president of public relations. Guess what? We put out a newsletter that became one of the top 10 in the world. Not bad for an engineer. I gave up English in the first two universities. But I discovered a side of myself I didn't know I had. I became president here and the area governor, division governor. I was division governor a year. I was asked to be district governor, but I didn't want that. So I just retired. But guess what? You know that 60 cents on this job? Pay me 1,000 times more than that just to stay at home. And I think it's wonderful because that's what I was born to do. And